Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Unlimited podcast. I'm Alice.
And I'm Ben. We're so glad you could join us today.
We really are. So, have you ever had one of those mornings, where you're basically arguing with your alarm clock?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
It feels like a battle before the day is even started.
exactly. And you just feel like you're on autopilot, just doing the same things every single day.
I know that feeling so well, but lately I've been trying to change that. I made this small decision to go to sleep before midnight.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is. But it means no more zombie Ben in the morning. I just decided I didn't want to live on autopilot anymore.
I love that. I've been trying something small, too. Instead of grabbing my phone first thing, I've started listening to music.
And how does that feel?
It just feels softer, calmer. I'm not hit with 100 notifications and emails right away.
That sounds like a much better way to start the day.
It really is. And these little changes, these tiny upgrades, they got us thinking about our topic for today.
Right. We want to explore why some people seem to be able to totally flip their life around, while others just feel like they're walking in circles.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the idea that big life change doesn't usually come from one huge dramatic movie moment.
No, it comes from all these small, repeated choices that you make every single day.
And just so you know, this episode is at a B1 English level. So the English will be clear and simple, but the ideas are deep.
And if you're a strong beginner, you are absolutely welcome here.
Before we dive in, if you like what you hear, please take a second to like this episode and subscribe to the English Unlimited podcast.
And we'd love for you to practice. Write a simple comment for us. I'm your name from your country, and one small thing I want to change is.
It would be so cool to read those. Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay, so here's the big question. Why does change sound so beautiful in theory, but in real life, it just feels so hard?
It's so true. We all want to change things, but when it comes time to actually do it, something just stops us. It's like we feel stuck.
That's the perfect word for it. Stuck.
Wait, let's talk about that for a second. When you say stuck, what does that mean exactly?
It's that feeling that you can't move. You know, like when your shoe gets stuck in deep mud. You try to pull it out, but it just won't budge. You're not moving forward.
I think everyone knows that feeling. So our goal today is to sort of identify these things that keep us stuck. You called them invisible ropes.
Exactly. And the first and maybe the biggest invisible rope is the fear of failure.
Oh, that's a huge one. But what is failure, really?
It's just when something doesn't work the way you want it to. That's all. But we make it so much bigger in our heads.
We do. We worry that people will laugh at us if we try something and it doesn't work out.
Or even worse, that we'll disappoint ourselves, that the failure will prove this little voice in our head that says, I'm not good enough.
Right. But we spend so much time worrying about failing, we forget to ask the other question.
Which is,
What happens if I succeed?
exactly. We never think about that. And the truth is, every single successful person has a secret history of many, many small failures.
That's such a good point. Failure is part of the road. It's not the end of the road.
Perfectly said. So that's the first rope, fear. The second one is having no clear direction.
What do you mean by direction?
It's like having a map, knowing where you want to go. The problem is that our dreams are often too big and blurry.
Blurry. Can you explain that word?
Sure. Blurry means not clear. Think about a photo that's out of focus. You can't see the details. Your dream can be like that. You want a better life, but what does that actually look like?
Ah, I get it. And when the goal is blurry, you don't know what to do first, so you do nothing.
You fall into the trap of waiting for the big, perfect master plan to appear.
Which leads to what you call the waiting room feeling.
Yes, where time just passes and passes, but absolutely nothing changes.
Okay, so we have fear and we have no direction. What's the third invisible rope?
This one is maybe the most dangerous. It's negative self-talk.
Can you define that for us?
Negative self-talk is how you talk to yourself inside your own head. For many of us, it's like having a poison in your brain. And what does that sound like?
It's that voice that says things like, I'm not smart enough for this, or people like me never change.
Or a big one for our listeners might be, I'm just not an English person.
Precisely. And if you tell yourself that enough, you start to believe it.
Which leads us to the fourth rope, which I think is so common, it's waiting for motivation.
Ah, yes. The belief that I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll do it when I feel motivated.
But the feeling never comes, does it?
It usually doesn't. Because the reality is, motivation doesn't come before you act. It comes after you act. It's a reward for taking action.
It's like you have to move your legs first, and then the energy comes to keep going.
You're so right. I have a story about this. I wanted to start running for years, and I was always waiting for the perfect day.
Let me guess. The first day of a new month.
Or a new week. Or when the weather was perfect. I always had an excuse.
So what changed?
I made a deal with myself. A tiny deal. I just said, you only have to run for 5 minutes. Not more.
Just 5 minutes. Just 5. And I did it. And that little bit of pride I felt fueled me to do it the next day. The motivation came from the doing.
I have a story like that with speaking English. I waited for so long to feel confident before I would speak.
And that confidence never arrived on its own, did it?
Never. So I just decided, okay, I will probably sound silly, but I am going to speak anyway. And my bravery grew with every conversation.
That's it right there. So to sum it up, fear, no direction, that negative voice, and waiting for motivation.
These are the invisible ropes. And the first step is you just have to notice them before you can do anything about them.
So once we see the ropes, how do we actually start to change? I think we expect this big explosion, boom, new life.
Right, like in a movie. But the reality is, it's a lot less dramatic than that, isn't it?
It is. It's more like growing a plant. It's not an explosion. It needs a little bit of water every day, a little sunlight, and a lot of time.
I love that image. It's about small, daily actions. Which brings us to the 1% better idea.
Exactly. This is the idea that you don't need to be amazing today. You just need to become a little bit better every day. Just 1%.
Because all those little bits, they add up over time.
Add up. That's a great phrasal verb. What does that mean?
It means that when you put many small things together, they become something big. Like adding coins to a jar. One coin is nothing, but after a year, you have a lot of money.
Perfect explanation.
Elizabeth.
So 5 minutes of English today feels tiny. It feels like nothing.
But 5 minutes every single day for a whole year.
Oh.
Well, that adds up to many, many hours of practice.
And the engine that drives this whole process is something we all have. Habits.
Okay, let's define habit.
Habit is just something you do again and again, almost automatically without thinking.
Like brushing your teeth in the morning.
Or checking your phone as soon as you wake up. That's a habit too.
A very powerful one. And you mentioned that habits do something really important. They shape your identity.
Yes. This is a key idea from books like Atomic Habits. Your habits slowly change who you believe you are. So, what's identity?
Identity is how you see yourself. It's the story you tell yourself about who you are.
Exactly. So, let's take an example. If you read in English for just 10 minutes every single night, you're not just reading.
What are you doing?
You are slowly building a new identity. You start to see yourself as, I am the kind of person who reads in English.
And that shift in identity is so much more powerful than just finishing one book.
It's everything. So let's give our listeners some really practical, small habits they could start.
Okay, I'll start. You could read 1 page of an English book every night before you go to sleep.
That's a great one. Or you could write just 2 sentences in English about your day in a notebook.
I love that. You could also listen to this podcast while you cook dinner or clean the house.
Yes. And here's a mindset habit. This one is really important.
Okay, what is it?
Every time you catch yourself saying, I'm bad at English, I want you to change it.
Change it to what?
Change it to, I am learning English.
Ooh, that is powerful. It's a small change, but it means everything.
So the key takeaway here is this. You don't need a big, dramatic, perfect plan.
You just need one small action repeated again and again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have these small habits, but there's another piece to this puzzle, and it's all about what's happening inside our heads. It's our mindset.
Right. And what do we mean by mindset? It's the general way you think about things.
Yeah.
About your abilities, about your future. It's like the style of the voice inside your head.
And the research here talks about 2 main types of mindset, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset.
Yes. Let's start with the fixed mindset. A person with a fixed mindset believes their abilities are, well, fixed. You're either good at something or you're not.
So they would say things like, this is just who I am, I can't change.
Or, I'm just bad at languages. The story is finished.
But then there's the growth mindset, which is the complete opposite.
It really is. The growth mindset is the belief that you can improve. You can learn new things. Your abilities can grow with effort.
So that person would say, I'm not perfect at this, but I can get better if I practice.
Exactly. And this isn't just a nice idea. This belief actually changes how your brain works. It changes your brain's filter system.
The filter system. That sounds interesting. Tell us more.
Okay, so your brain has this thing called the reticular activating system, or RAS for short.
That sounds very technical.
It does, but the idea is simple. Think of the RAS as a guard at the door of your brain. It decides what information is important enough to show you.
So it filters everything.
Everything. Because there's too much information in the world. So the RAS only shows you things that are important to you.
Can you give us an example?
Of course. Have you ever learned a new vocabulary word and then suddenly you start seeing and hearing that word everywhere?
Yes, all the time.
That's your RAS at work. The word was always there, but now your brain thinks it's important, so it shows it to you. Your brain is looking for proof.
Okay, so how does this connect to our mindset?
Well, if your inner voice, your mindset is always saying, I can't do this, your brain's filter, the RAS, will look for proof that you're right. It will show you all the reasons you will fail.
But if your inner voice says, I am improving, then what happens?
Then your brain starts looking for proof of that. It will start to show you all the little signs of progress you're making. This is what we mean when we say reprogramming your mind.
So how can we do that? How do we reprogram our minds?
There are 3 really simple tools: affirmations, visualization, and gratitude.
Okay, let's break those down. What is an affirmation?
An affirmation is just a positive sentence that you say to yourself on purpose, again and again. For example, I'm getting better at English every week.
I see. And the second one was visualization.
Right. Visualization is when you close your eyes and you imagine yourself doing something well. You create a mental movie of success.
So I could imagine myself speaking English calmly and confidently in a job interview.
That is a perfect use of visualization. You're training your brain for success before it even happens.
And the third tool was gratitude.
Yes. Gratitude is the simple act of feeling thankful. It's about looking at your day, even a hard day, and finding one good moment to appreciate.
That sounds really nice, but how does it help with change?
It trains your brain's filter to look for the positive. It forces you to find the good things that are already happening.
So all of these tools, affirmations, visualization, gratitude, what's the final goal?
The goal is to make your inner voice a coach, not a critic.
A coach, not a critic. I love that.
So we've talked about our habits and our mindset,
Yeah.
but there's a big enemy that can stop all of this progress. And that enemy is perfection.
The perfection trap, the idea that everything has to be 100% perfect with no mistakes before we can even start.
Right. We wait. We say things like, when my English is better, then I'll start speaking.
Or when I have more time, then I'll study.
It's like standing at the edge of a swimming pool. You're waiting to feel comfortable and warm before you jump in.
But the comfort only comes after you jump into the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to jump first. I remember when I first started recording myself speaking English, I felt so awkward.
Oh, I can imagine. I wanted every sentence to be perfect. I must have deleted hundreds of recordings because they weren't good enough.
And all that waiting for perfection stops you from actually practicing. There's a great quote about this.
What is it?
A messy start is better than a perfect one day.
Why is that?
Because one day sometimes means never.
That's so true. So the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to start building momentum. What is momentum?
Momentum is that moving energy that makes it easier to keep going. Think about pushing a bicycle.
Okay.
That first push is the hardest. But once the bike is moving, you don't need to push as hard to keep it going. It has momentum.
So we need to replace waiting with what you call imperfect actions.
Yes. Send that short voice note, even if your grammar isn't perfect. Read just one paragraph, write one email, build a little momentum.
Okay, so that helps us get started. But there's another huge factor that makes things easier or harder, and that's our environment.
Absolutely. So what is environment?
It's everything around you, the people you know, the places you go, the sounds you hear, the things you watch.
And there's an idea that says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
I've heard that before. What does it really mean?
It means that if the 5 people closest to you are always complaining and negative, it's really hard for you to stay hopeful and positive.
But if they're learning new things and trying to improve themselves...
Then you start to feel like, hey, maybe I can do that too. Their actions become normal to you.
So the people around us are really important. And what about the information around us?
That's what we call your information diet.
An information diet, like a food diet.
Exactly. You can feed your brain healthy food, like good books and motivating podcasts like this one.
Or you can feed it junk food.
Like endless negative news, online drama, or reading angry comments on social media.
And that junk food can really drain your energy.
Drain your energy. Can you explain what that means?
It means to take your energy away, making you feel tired or empty, like when a phone battery goes to zero.
A perfect explanation. I have one last story about this. When I was learning English, I felt so alone.
I think a lot of learners feel that way. I really did. But then I joined a small online study group, and everything changed.
Did it make English easy?
No, not at all. English was still hard, but being in that group with those people, it made quitting much more difficult.
The environment supported you.
It did. So we'd like to ask you, the listener, to think about this. Who are your 5 people, and what is your information diet like?
Maybe you can add just one more positive thing. A new person, a new podcast, or a community can make all the difference. Hashtag outro.
Wow, we've covered so much today. I think it would be good to do a little review of the most important vocabulary we used, a little word tour.
Great idea. The first word we talked about was stuck. That means you feel like you can't move forward in your life or in a routine.
Then we had fear of failure. This is being scared to try something new because you think you might not succeed.
And we talked about direction, which is like having a map or a clear plan for where you want to go.
We also talked about negative self-talk. Those are the unkind thoughts you have in your mind, like, I'm not smart enough.
And the solution to that is building a new habit, which is something you do again and again, almost without thinking.
Because your habits shape your identity, which is how you see yourself, for example, as a learner or as a reader.
And all of this comes down to your mindset, your general way of thinking about your abilities.
Right. You can have a fixed mindset where you believe you can't change, or a growth mindset where you believe you can improve.
And to build that growth mindset, you can use tools like an affirmation, which is a positive sentence you tell yourself on purpose.
Or visualization, which is imagining yourself doing something well.
And also gratitude, which is the feeling of being thankful for the good things in your life.
All of this helps you build momentum, that energy of movement that makes it easier to keep going.
And finally, we talked about your environment, which is everything around you, the people, the places, and the information.
Okay, that was a fantastic review. Now for our micro challenge.
Yes. To help you build some momentum today, we want to challenge you. Pick one thing you keep postponing, something you've been wanting to do.
And just give it 5 minutes today. That's it. A small, friendly workout for your brain.
And as we finish, let's remember the big idea from today.
You don't need a perfect plan. You just need one small step, taken again and again.
Because those little changes, every single day, can truly change your entire life.
Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the English Unlimited podcast for more episodes like this one.
And if you know a friend who is learning English and wants to make a change in their life, please share this with them.
Thank you again for joining us. I'm Alice.
And I'm Ben. Goodbye for now.